Hello, everyone. Do you ever look at someone else's life and feel like yours is just not enough? And welcome back to Tiny English, the channel where you learn real English for real life. I am May, and I'm so happy you are here with us today.
Hey everyone, Gray here. So great to see you all again. Today we have a really important topic, and honestly, it is something both May and I have personally struggled with.
Yes, today we are talking about how to stop comparing yourself to others. This is something almost everyone does, but not everyone talks about it.
And by the end of this video, you will learn some very useful English phrases and real tips to help you feel better about yourself. So let us get started.
Before we jump in, we just want to say, if this is your first time here, welcome to Tiny English. We make English easy, fun, and useful for everyday life. Make sure you subscribe so you do not miss any videos.
Alright, let us get into today's conversation.
So Gray, let me start with a question. Have you ever looked at someone on social media and thought, wow, their life looks so much better than mine?
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone has done this at some point. You open Instagram or Facebook, and suddenly you see your friend just bought a new car, or got a promotion at work, or is traveling somewhere beautiful.
And then you start thinking about your own life, and you feel a little sad, right?
Exactly. You start asking yourself, why am I not there yet? Why does my life look so boring compared to theirs?
That feeling has a name. It is called social comparison. It is when we look at other people and measure our own value based on what they have or what they have achieved.
That is a great point, May, and the word comparison is really important here. Can everyone say that word? Comparison? It means the act of looking at two things or two people and seeing how they are different.
And the phrase to compare yourself to others means you look at someone else's life, their job, their body, their success, and you judge your own life based on that.
Now, here is the thing. Comparing yourself to others is completely natural. Our brains are actually designed to do this. It is how humans have always measured progress.
But the problem is, in today's world, especially with social media, we compare ourselves way too much. And we usually compare our everyday life to someone else's highlight reel.
Wait, May. What is a highlight reel? I love that phrase.
Great question. A highlight reel is like a collection of only the best moments. Think about it. When you post on social media, do you post photos of yourself on a bad day, looking tired, feeling sad?
No way. You post the best photo, the best moment, the best version of your day.
Exactly. So when we compare our real life to someone's highlight reel, it is never a fair comparison.
That is so true. And I think one of the first steps to stop comparing yourself is to understand that what you see online is not the full picture. People only show what they want you to see.
Yes. So the phrase here is, not the full picture. It means you are only seeing part of the story, not everything. For example, that friend who just posted about their dream vacation, maybe they saved money for 2 years and skipped a lot of things to afford that trip.
Or that person who always looks so confident and successful at work, maybe at home they feel just as lost and confused as you do.
We just never know. And that leads us to another important idea. Everyone is on their own journey.
Oh, I love that phrase, your own journey. It means your life path is unique to you. You have your own timeline, your own goals, your own challenges.
Right. Just because your friend got married at 25 does not mean you need to get married at 25 too. Just because your colleague got promoted after 2 years does not mean you are behind if it takes you longer.
This is so important, and I think one reason we compare ourselves is because we feel like life has one timeline that everyone should follow.
Exactly. Go to school, get a job, get married, buy a house, have children. But life is not like that for everyone, and that is completely okay.
So May, what are some practical things people can do to stop comparing themselves to others?
Great question. I have a few ideas. First, I think the most important thing is to focus on your own progress. Instead of looking at where other people are, look at where you were 1 year ago and where you are now.
That is called personal growth. And it feels so much better than comparison. Because when you compare yourself to your past self, you are always comparing fairly.
Yes, you can ask yourself, what have I learned this year? What have I improved? What am I proud of?
I really like that. Another thing I think helps is to practice gratitude. Gratitude means being thankful for what you have. When you focus on what is good in your own life, you spend less time looking at what other people have.
Absolutely. A simple habit is to write down 3 things you are grateful for every day. They do not have to be big things. It could be something like, I had a good cup of coffee this morning. I had a nice conversation with a friend. The weather was beautiful today.
Small things matter, and over time, this habit trains your brain to notice the good in your own life instead of always looking at others.
Another tip I want to share is to limit your time on social media. Now, I am not saying delete everything, but maybe instead of scrolling for 1 hour before bed, you scroll for 15 minutes.
That is a really practical tip, because the more time you spend on social media, the more chances you have to compare yourself to others.
And when you do use social media, be mindful. Notice when you start to feel bad after looking at someone's post. That is your signal to put your phone down.
Being mindful means paying attention to how you feel in the moment. It is a really useful skill for everyday life.
Now, I also want to talk about something a little deeper. Sometimes when we compare ourselves to others, it is because we are not sure what we really want for our own life.
What do you mean by that, May?
Well, when you are clear about your own values and your own goals, other people's lives become less interesting to compare to, because you know what you are working toward.
So it is like, if I know I want to become a great teacher, I am not going to feel jealous of my friend who becomes a business owner, because that is not my goal.
Exactly. Knowing what you want is like having your own map. You are not going to follow someone else's map if you already know where you want to go.
I love that metaphor, your own map. So the question to ask yourself is, what do I actually want? Not what my parents want for me, not what society tells me to want, but what do I truly want?
And that can be a hard question to answer, but it is worth thinking about.
Absolutely. Now, let us also talk about something called comparison envy. This is when you look at someone and feel angry or sad because they have something you want.
We have all felt this, and it is okay to feel it. The important thing is what you do with that feeling.
Right. Instead of letting it make you feel bad about yourself, you can use it as information. If you feel envious of someone's career, maybe that tells you something about what you actually want in your own career.
So envy can be a teacher. It can point you toward your own desires and goals.
That is a really positive way to look at it. Turn the feeling into fuel instead of letting it bring you down.
And one last thing I want to say is this. Be kind to yourself. We are all works in progress. Nobody has everything figured out. Everyone is doing the best they can with what they have.
Works in progress. I love that phrase. It means you are not finished yet. You are still growing, still learning.
And that is a beautiful thing. You do not have to be perfect. You just have to keep moving forward.
Well said, May. Okay, let us do a quick vocabulary review for everyone before we wrap up today.
Great idea. So today, we talked about comparison, which means measuring yourself against others. We talked about a highlight reel, which means only the best moments that people share online.
We talked about your own journey, meaning your unique life path. We talked about personal growth, which is your improvement over time.
We talked about gratitude, being thankful for what you have, and being mindful, which means paying attention to how you feel in the moment.
And we talked about works in progress, meaning we are all still growing and learning.
These are all really useful phrases for talking about self-improvement and mental health in English.
All right, everyone. We are almost at the end of today's video. But before we go, we want to ask you a question. Leave your answer in the comments below.
The question is, what is one thing you are proud of about yourself right now? It can be big or small. Just share something you are grateful for about your own journey.
We love reading your comments. It always makes us so happy to hear from you.
And if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow and reach more people who are learning English.
Also, if you have not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button right now. We post new videos every week with real, useful English conversations just like this one.
And share this video with a friend who might need to hear this message today. Sometimes, the people around us need a little reminder to stop comparing and start appreciating their own journey.
That is so true. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for watching Tiny English today.
Remember, your journey is yours. Do not compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10.
We will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone. See you soon.